Welcome back to the Bloodbird channel. In this video, we'll be discussing and reading Genesis chapter 6. I believe it's the one that we're on now. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into that. We'll start with Genesis chapter 6. I'm going to be looking over here because that's where my screen is. Wickedness in the world. Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. When human beings began to increase in number on the earth, and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful. I'm assuming that the sons of God here is referring to angels. That's just what I'm inferring there. And they married many of them. They married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Niflheim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children with them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. The Lord saw how great the wickedness of the human race had become on the earth, and that very inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil all the time. The Lord regretted that he had made human beings on the earth, and his heart was deeply troubled. So the Lord said, I will wipe from the face of the earth the human race I have created, and with them the animals, the birds, and the creatures that move along the ground, for I regret that I have made them. But Noah found favor in the in the eyes of the Lord. So now we get into Noah and the flood here, which begins on Genesis 6, verse 9. This is the account of Noah and his family. Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was corrupt in God's sight and was full of violence. God saw how corrupt the earth had become, for all the people on the earth had corrupted their ways. So God said to Noah, I am going to put an end to all people, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. I am surely going to destroy both them and the earth, so make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and coat it with pitch inside and out. This is how you are to build it. The ark is to be 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Make a roof for it, leaving below the roof an opening 1 cubit high all around. Put a door in the side of the ark and make a lower, middle, and upper decks. I am going to bring floodwaters on the earth to destroy all life under the heavens. Every creature that has the breath of life in it, everything on earth will perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you will enter the ark, you and your sons and your wife and your sons' wives with you. You are to bring into the ark 2 of all living creatures, male and female, to keep them alive with you, 2 of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every kind of creature that moves along the ground will come to you to be kept alive. You are to take every kind of food that is to be eaten and store it away as food for you and for them. Noah did everything as God commanded him. And then that's the end of that chapter there, which is just Noah receiving that, and then, as it says in the final verse, verse 22 of this chapter, it says Noah did everything God commanded him, just as God commanded him. So yeah. All right, my thoughts on this. Bit of a drastic decision, right? Wiping out everything that he created. I'm not saying that it wasn't just, because I didn't live in those times. I don't know what was going on. It could have been like everybody was killing and raping each other, and it was like the strongest rule, basically. Like whoever the strongest guy was the one who made all the decisions. Until then, he was killed by another guy, and then so on and so forth. Like it could have just been like a lawless land, for all I know. So God was going to wipe everybody out because everybody was so evil, and they were teaching their children to be the same way. So that's why the children are not spared in this instance, and in future instances we'll see the same thing with like the Sodomites, I believe. So yeah, because they were teaching their children to sin, become corrupt, and all that stuff. But God did show mercy with Noah, because he was going to wipe everybody out. But since Noah had favor in the eyes of God, God decided to spare him and his family, and let the human race continue through Noah, which is by having him build the ark. And he also saved all the animals and stuff as well, as we see with him taking the 2 of each animal, 1 male, 1 female, so they can also procreate. So yeah, and we can see signs of the flood around the world, especially with the aquatic animals that we find often in both the deserts and on mountains. We find aquatic life, like fossilized aquatic life. And then there's also like all the signs of like the deposits and stuff in the oil and like the strata of the oil of the ground, not the oil. What am I talking about? In the ground that show signs of flooding and stuff, and it's all around the world basically. And all that, everything around the world is also in like the same like layer of strata as well. So there's that. Just signs that a flood has happened, and it was a worldwide flood. It was a global flood. But obviously we couldn't discover that until later because we were all sectioned off in our own areas of the land. And then there's also the fact that, some people are like, well, it couldn't possibly rain that much. It rains for like a week and we get like just 10 inches of rainwater. It's like yeah, but in this, I think it's like the next chapter we'll see. We'll read where it says that the springs sprang forth from the ground, and there's definitely enough water under the surface of the earth that would allow for the entire surface of the earth to be flooded. So if all of those came up at once, the entire world would flood. And yeah, those are the main evidences for a flood that happened. But then we also have evidence, a speculated place where Noah's Ark came to rest at the end of the flood. And that is on Mount Ararat in Turkey, where ancient soil samples were taken, and not ancient soil samples, but soil samples were taken, and we found ancient wood inside the soil samples. And that wood was also like man-made or like carved into a shape, not just like from a tree, But then it is also kind of speculated, at least from what I've heard, is that Turkey won't really allow people to go look at that, or at least scientists, because, or at least they wouldn't. They might now, but they wouldn't, because they're a Muslim majority country, and they don't want the Bible to be proven true, so they don't let people in there. Yeah. But then also there's, I believe, another instance for this is like proof that might be where the resting place of the ark was, is that there's ruins nearby that location with rocks that have carved depictions of animals and stuff on them, and that is believed to be where Noah and his family settled, like after the flood. So yeah, but I think that's it for me. So that's gonna be the end of this video. And so if you liked it, hey, that's good, and I'll see you in the next one, I guess.